All right, so Christian had to bounce. I'm going to do the rest of this thing by myself. We're going to kick it off. UFC 307, main card as always. We're going to start off Roman Dolidze versus Kevin Holland. Dolidze is 3-2 in his last 5 and got decision losses over with Imavov and Marvin Vettori. He's 3-0 against longer reach, 6-2 versus orthodox opponents. He's 7-3 in the UFC, 4 KOs, 3 decisions. Now, that's Roman Dolidze. Kevin Holland, on the other hand, he's also 3-2 with decision losses to Michael Venom Page and Jack Della Maddalena. Those are the Alphabet Boys, if you ever heard of it. Before getting a sub win over Mikhail Oleksiejczuk, Holland is 12-4-1 as a favorite there. Whereas Dolidze is 3-3 as the underdog. This one's interesting for me. Favorite on the money line is Kevin Holland at minus 150 opening. Dolidze plus 130. I picked Kevin Holland here. Christian is going with Roman Dolidze. Yep, Roman Dolidze. So we differ on the first pick of the 5-fight main card for UFC 307. Next up, Ketlen Vieira Fenomeno taking on Kayla Harris. Vieira got back into the driver's seat against Pani Kianzad after losing to the current champ, Raquel Pennington. She wasn't the champ when she lost, but she's the champ now. So the loss is kind of aging well, I think. Vieira has a 2-inch reach advantage over Harrison, which, I mean, she's the biggest underdog of the night at plus 650. Ketlen Vieira is, so she's going to need everything she can get. Kayla Harrison, on the other hand, minus 1150 opening odds, money line. 17-1 in her career, 1-0 in the UFC. Harrison won her UFC with a submission victory over Holly Holm. It was a good fight. She won in pretty much every aspect of that fight, and she has a strong aspect in almost every aspect of the fight game. It's a good matchup, even though it's got strong, diverse odds here. Ketlen is 6-1 against shorter reach, which she is the reach advantage there, and she's 2-0 against southpaws, which Kayla Harrison is. She's going to need all of those things, as well as her being 5-0 as an underdog in order to win. Unfortunately for Ketlen Vieira, me and Christian both pick Kayla Harrison. So that's just how that fight's going to go with minus 1150. Probably going to be a finish, if I had to say. Next up, bantamweights. Jose Aldo, second fight back on his return, taking on Mario Bautista. Aldo's 1-0 back after the extended layoff after his Merab fight. He lost that fight by decision, as most people with Merab encounters do. The good thing about the Merab fight, though, is Merab is now the champ, so that fight is aging well as well. Aldo is 6-5 against shorter reach and 5-4 as a dog. He's had 40 pro fights, so he's got a lot of runs in the UFC. It's a lot to go through. Bautista is on a 6-fight win streak. He's 8-2 in the UFC, 5-1 as a favorite, and 2-2 with the reach disadvantage. Now, I picked Jose Aldo, the longtime UFC vet. One of the reasons I pick him, he's one of the only guys to have ever knocked out Renato Moicano. I was going to tell that to Christian, but he's not here, as we don't hear anything from him. But Christian picks Mario Bautista. It's a tough fight. Plus 120 Aldo. He's technically the underdog. It's kind of a toss-up. And minus 140 to Mario Bautista. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a close fight. Close in reach, close in height. The only thing they're not close in is age. And that's where Jose Aldo has the disadvantage. This next one's going to be a big fight for the women's bantamweight division. Raquel Rocky Pennington taking on Julianna Pena, the Venezuela vixen. Pennington is on a 6-fight win streak, tearing through the top contention in the weight class, in the bantamweight class. 12-5 in the UFC. Pena won against Amanda Nunes, then lost the rematch and hasn't stopped talking about how she's the best fighter on the planet. Honestly, it's kind of annoying, but whatever. Pennington is 6-1 against reach. She's 7-0 against as a favorite, which is crazy. Julianna Pena is 0-1 against reach. So she has the shorter, when she has the longer reach, she's 0-1. And she's 3-3 as the underdog. She's plus 140 underdog, albeit it's close. But I just think Raquel Pennington here, she's just so much stronger than everybody in the division right now. I don't think anybody, including the power and strength of Julianna Pena, is going to be able to come close to that. I just think with everything that the fight card on this fight brings, Raquel Pennington's going to keep the belt, and defend her belt in the women's bantamweight division. Next, Christian agrees. Raquel Pennington win over Julianna Pena. Next, Alex Poatan Pereira taking on Khalil Rountree. This is going to be a fun one. Neither guy looks to shoot a takedown, it seems. Alex Pereira is headlining his 6th UFC numbered card, which is impressive. He's 5-1 in that time. This is his 3rd light heavyweight defense of the belt. The hands of stone are, of course, going to be thrown here. Rountree is on a 5-fight win streak, 4 KOs in that time. He does have a 3.5-inch reach disadvantage. He's 1-2 with disadvantage in the UFC. He's 6-5 against orthodox opponents. He's a southpaw. It's different, Khalil Rountree does bring a good diverse mix of things, but Poatan Pereira opened the line at minus 500. Khalil Rountree is plus 375 or plus 350. It's one that I don't count Alex Pereira out. I'm never going to vote against Alex Pereira in any standpoint. Until I see it happen, I'm riding the hype train. So me and Christian both say Alex Pereira for the win, probably by finish over Khalil Rountree. And that's going to finish up UFC 307. Next week, we'll be back to full form, regular form. We'll be looking at UFC Fight Night, I believe it is. Tatsuro Taira versus Brandon Royval. Yeah, it is a UFC Fight Night. Royval versus Taira. Check us out then next week. Like and subscribe. Do all the things. Thanks for watching. Bye.